Hello again. This is David Klein Lovett, the author of the greatest comedy book ever written by David Klein Lovett. We're talking about connection. How to connect with an audience, whether it's in life, comedy, public speaking, or just with your mom or dad or loved one, special person, or maybe just somebody at the bus stop. How do you connect with them? So in part one, we talked about knowing your audience, working the room, pretending, be yourself, relatable subjects. I think I skipped be yourself. Just be natural. In a speech, whether you're doing comedy or you're talking to a camera for a YouTube video, be conversational. Don't preach. It's not even good when preachers preach. Just talk. Talk to the person, talk to your audience as if you're talking to your best friend. Be yourself. I referred to in part one a little bit of callbacks. And if you watch the video, I talked about meeting people beforehand, and I mentioned Judy. And I mentioned that I learned that Judy was from Illinois. Or is it Illinois? Somebody from Illinois or Illinois, let me know. Don't be afraid to be wrong. It's not in the book, but it just came up. It's okay, Illinois or Illinois. I should know that, but it's not the end of the world. And that's being relatable. Like, oh, I'm ignorant of that fact. So, callback. So when I was able to call back, and a lot of people knew Judy, and knew Judy was from Illinois, or Illinois, that's really relatable. This guy knows Judy, and knows a little bit about Judy. He knows that that was a nickname. He knows she's from Illinois. So I'm calling back. So what Craig Valentine, the 1999 world champion of public speaking, does is he'll go to the convention or the seminar. Usually there's a talk and there's a speaker before him or before that speaker. He'll listen to something that happened and he'll call back to that where the audience has heard that. It could be anything. One of the examples he makes is they talked about the next event they're having. They're having a seminar coming up later. They're having some kind of an event, and they kept announcing the event, announcing the event, announcing the event. I think it was a conference. And so he came up and said, well, for those of you that don't know, there's a conference coming up. And then everybody laughed because they'd already heard it 10 times. So call back is a great way of relating, whether it's about the event, something that happened in the event, someone who you met earlier, something that happened earlier. And it's also a great way to open. We talked about that. Being yourself is also I'm just saying, talk to your audience. Just talk to them. Listen to what they say. I just went to an event yesterday, and every single speaker said, how are you? And not one, I think there were maybe 10 people, listened to hear how people were. And then most of the audience at that point never responded. I was the only one saying, great, at the same time while they were already talking. If you're going to ask the audience how they are, listen to find out how they are. It's so disconcerting. It's not like me not talking, like you're there, but you're not really there, because this is a recorded YouTube video. But if you were standing behind the camera, listen. There's nothing a better connection where you can hear the speaker actually hear what they're saying, hear the emotion before what they're saying, and actually even hear the commitment behind that. And then respond in like. Great way to connect with your audience. Another way, and by the way, Darren LaCoy and Craig Valentine argue about this, is call by name. Like I mentioned Judy. Even if you're not Judy, you feel a connection because you know Judy. Oh, he knows Judy. Wow. I have a connection. He knows Judy. We both know Judy. He knows someone in our audience from our world It's great. So I try to get the names of 2, 3, 4 people, and I'll bring them up over and over. If you don't know the names, or you want to, another thing what you can do is use the pronoun you. Craig Valentine talks about where you say, he calls it the hallway method. You don't say, how's everyone doing? Now, who am I talking to? Everyone. So he calls it, speak to one, look to all. How are you doing? A lot more personal than how is everyone doing? He spoke to you. He's talking to me. How are you doing? And that's the way you would do it in the hallway. If you met someone in the hallway, you wouldn't say, how's everyone doing? You would say, how are you doing? Pronoun name, I think first, I agree with Darren. But if you don't know the names, and you can also change it up, use the pronoun you. Another thing, and I saw this one time, is real eye contact. Most everybody in life doesn't make great eye contact. In a complete thought or sentence, talking and looking in one person's eyes. I'm well aware of this technique, and oh gosh, it was a couple years ago, just at a little Toastmasters meeting, and her name's Amanda, and Amanda had prolonged eye contact with a person in front of me, and I felt the connection. You don't want to be too long and get weird, but one sentence, one thought, it's profound. Try it out. Another connection and way of being yourself and being able to talk to the audience is practice. If you practice, practice, practice. If you know your material, if you know what you're going to say, if you're comfortable with your material, it's easier to be you. It's easier to talk to your audience. That makes it easier to connect. So practice. Another thing is take your time. You know, when somebody's nervous, they talk fast. You slow it down. You sound confident. When you sound confident, people want to hear you more. And when they want to hear you more, they're actually connecting with you more. Take your time. Another thing people love is when you tell a secret. So you can do a combination where you take it down, which is the last thing I'm going to talk about. Tell them a secret. You could even step forward. You know, I want to tell you a secret. I'm in on a secret? He must really care about me. He's connecting with me. It could be anything. Just the statement of saying that. You know what? Tell a secret. You know, Judy, when she lived in Illinois, she did incredible work. Tell them a secret. They love it. They connect with it. Check in. Check in to see how they're doing. Like when I talked about earlier where nobody took a moment to hear how the audience is doing. Of course, you know, they were nervous. It's kind of ironic because I was noticing none of them appeared that nervous. They didn't look nervous, but that would be a tell sign. So check in, meaning in different ways you can say it. Did you get that? Did that make sense? Was I clear on that? Do I need to say a little bit more about that? All different ways to check in with your audience. Does that make sense? I just did it. Check in. And you could say you. Did you get that? Did you understand that? Did you get the concept there? Are you, Reverend Michael Beckwith, where a spiritual center I go, are you getting what I'm bringing down? That's a little bit paraphrased, but it's pretty darn close. It just feels good. Like, oh, he cares. He's listening to me. You focus check-in. I think Craig Valentine talks about that. And lastly, we talked about take it down. You think if I'm saying something important, maybe I need to say it louder. But no. The audience really gets it. If I want to tell you, there's almost nothing more important than connecting with your audience. Connecting with your friend, your spouse, your parents, your loved ones, your kids. Take it down. slow down, and also slow down, decrease your volume. And people have to really strain to hear you. Must be important. Powerful technique. Okay, that's it. From Comedy Made Easy, we're talking about connecting with your audience. Go out there, smile, joke, use a template. It's so easy to write a joke. Spread joy, spread humor, spread love, spread laughter to the world. Pretend every day is Friday or Saturday. And most of all, love it!